'Cause we're gonna be legends, gonna get their attention. What we're doing here ain't just scary, it's about to be legendary.
How's it, Oaks? So in this video I'm gonna be talking about some plane settings that you can make just to give yourself a bit more of an edge when you're flying. And then in the second part I'll just be giving some tips and tricks that I've learned so far while playing or flying in Battlefield 5. So yeah, here we go. So there's a few controls to set for your plane just before you start playing. So the first one, which might be a bigger change, would be to set your pilot buttons to veteran. That basically just allows you to have more control on your rudder when you're flying. Okay. Nothing else there really in controls and gameplay. If you scroll down towards the bottom, you'll see flight zoom radius. Basically you're traveling at a much faster speed when you're flying, so you need to see more around you, whether it be spotted enemies or objectives or AA cannons, anything like that. So a good range to put it in is between 400 and 500. That's more for vehicle zoom radius, is more for tanks. Then just another one is to increase your minimap size a little bit so you can see more. Also shows stationary weapons, to put that on all. Mainly so you can see where the AA cannons are even if they're not spotted on the minimap. Another one, which is a big one, is in advanced, is plane chase camera roll, to put it off. This is actual personal preference, but for me, when you leave it off, you can actually see if you're doing a loop or if you're turning and you spot a tank. This if you have it off, the whole map, the whole screen isn't turning with your plane, so you can easily spot a tank again if you turn around or something like that. Whereas if you have it on, you're gonna be, the whole camera has to shake and it's a little bit harder to readjust. But I'll give an example in a minute. Yes, another important one, very important one, is to put your vehicle third person field of view on max. You can put it a little bit less if you want, like on 90 I'd say, but yeah, it's better to just go max because you can see planes around you much easier if it's on a higher setting. It's easier to stay on an enemy as well if this is on a higher setting. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle settings. Okay, so there's a couple of things. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you vehicle, the plane chase camera roll. So this is what it's like when you turn it off. You see I'm turning and the whole map stays the same. Let's say that's a tank at the tip of that thing. You can turn around, you spot it, you go back, and you can easily spot where it is, you line up and you start shooting again. Whereas if you had to turn plane chase camera roll off, on, the whole screen tilts with you. This is actually a little bit easier sometimes for chasing a plane, because it actually aligns your screen with the direction you're turning. But yeah, it does get a little bit disorientating if you fly like this sometimes. So you want to line up on the tip of that boat again, do another loop, so you'd have to find it again like that. But chasing planes, it's actually quite good to have it like this. I just prefer it off. Just a bit more sight for me. So there's a couple of things. Okay. There's a couple of things you can learn from just a bit of practice flying. Unfortunately, in this current build, when you're doing loops and things like this, you lose a lot of speed in your turns, which I hope that they're gonna fix in the next release when they patch it. But generally, you just wanna. You can see when I'm turning. If you turn right, you wanna tilt your rudder to the right. If you turn left, you wanna tilt your rudder to the left. That just gives you that extra little bit of maneuverability in the air. So yeah, that's just more general flying, just get used to using your rudder a lot. But yeah, so basically there's a few tactics you can do if there's a plane behind you at the moment. One of them, which isn't so great to be behind, is to stall. So basically what you would do is, if there was someone behind you, you would just basically stall. You'd pull up and stall, or go down and stall, or whatever you wanted to do. It's quite effective, it works most of the time. AA shooting or something. But it's not smart to just pull up and stall like this, because it's easy for them to line up and take you out. So one good trick is to kind of throw them off a bit. So you would do a dive, pull up, change direction to make sure that they are basically as close to you as possible. Then when you're doing a dive, pull up now and just stall, and do like a swivel type thing. Most of the time they overshoot you, and you just then carry on again, and you'll be behind them. That's one tactic that is quite effective, but also really, really annoying. Another thing you can try is just trying to outfly them, which is kind of hard in this. Like I said, it's in this build. There's not much maneuverability, but you can try and force them to crash or something. Which I've been able to do, but not on open maps like this. It's better for maps where there's places for them to crash, like that nice, forgot the name on the map, but that mountainous, icy map. She looks like it could be up there somewhere. Jokes, I have no idea where it is. This is the MKVA. So it's got these 250-pound bombs. It's quite good if they're spotted, but yeah, otherwise this is pretty much. Okay, well, I guess we got lucky there. But yeah, this is more for, I guess, planes and the occasional infantry, whereas MKVB, you have the spotter, which I'll show in a second on the BF109 G2. We have this spotter, which is why I prefer this one. For that reason. The other BF109 does give you a couple of rockets, which is actually really cool. But if you want to farm infantry, this is probably the better of the choices, because without it you can't really see, and it's also not too bad against planes. So he's probably going to get in the back now. That's when you pull away. Okay, he jumped. Okay, so you get your spotter, take a few photos, change to your primary.
Objective reading has been lost to the enemy.
Oh, it just moved.
Objective Delta has been lost.
So you'll see at the bottom there, on the bottom right, Spotter is when you push the right button. So you push the right button. Oh, there's a plane, yeah. It causes a bit of trouble. Yeah. So this is where the looping comes in. So there we just disabled him off one little strafe, which is really important because now he's going to be slower. And if he disables us, we do a quick repair.
Well done, we have taken objective Emian.
But now it just becomes a looping game. Yeah, so let me just show you one more spot. Should be somewhere over there.
Objective Gustav has been lost.
So yeah, this is my preference. Not unlock the full version of the other BF109 yet. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Cheers.